here. So today we're playing Recettear, and I actually got this game quite a while ago. It's a really interesting game, especially since it has kind of strange key configuration. You can reconfigure the keys. I'll go over that in a little bit. But basically, you use your arrow keys to go up and down and whatever. And then, let me see if I remember this. It's Z to press enter, basically. X is to back out. And then it changes depending on certain things. So this is Tear. She's a fairy. I actually really like the music in this game. I also like it's a pretty slow-paced game. It does get a little bit repetitive, but later in the game, you'll understand. I don't want to spoil too much, so when we get there, we'll get there, so yeah. So if you haven't noticed yet, there's here's Recette or Recettear, or I don't know how to pronounce her name. I just like to think of it as Recettear, like the guy from Animal Crossing. And here's us! We're this cute main character. Look at us! We're adorable! And they're speaking Japanese, actually, the voice. The voices, yeah. So. And to get through all of this too, like the dialogue, you just press the Z button again. So I started a new game because I wanted to give everyone a fresh new start, and I kind of wanted a fresh new start after failing miserably so many times. So, if you haven't noticed, we play the human girl. Tear is basically like, kind of like our guide. She helps us out. If you can't tell by now, we're actually playing basically a shop game. You buy stuff for the shop or find stuff for the shop. Put it up in the shop and sell it. We need to establish a stock of items for the store. That's basically what I said. If we have nothing to sell, we cannot claim to be much of a shop. No, you just empty building. So where should we go to get stocked up? So you can go to the market. And there's guilds and stuff, so it's kind of like a fantasy shop sort of thing. Yeah. That's basically where we buy the stuff and then we sell it for a higher price. We're basically the middleman, I guess you could say. And, you know, tell me in the comments if I'm going too fast through the dialogue, or if you want me to say the dialogue, read it, or whatever. I kind of don't want to talk over the cute little voices that they have going on in here. It's adorable. So when you want to leave the shop, head to the front door. And I'll show you where that is. Like an action hero. So as you can see, it's sort of like a comedy duo. You have the person playing like what's it called? Quote unquote the straight man or the serious person. And then the other one's kind of the goof or the fool. But she's so cute. It's okay. So we're right here, see us moving? You move with the arrow keys. You move up and down and all over the place. And Tear will follow behind you. This is our shop. And here's the door she was talking about. You go over here, and when she says go above her head, just go ahead and press E. And then she says, I'm leaving. Very realistic thing to say. So here's the merchant's guild. You basically unlock these once. We're basically in tutorial mode right now. This is a cute little town and a cute little music. Right above where it says pub, you'll see that it says day 1 and then it has money and stuff. That's, yeah, basically what it is. You do have essentially time in it. Each of the little pie parts, the little triangle parts of the circle moon thing represents basically a day, like time passing. And you'll see that after we go to the merchant guild, I think. Like I said, you can rebind the keys and everything. I think when you install the game, you just right click on it. But I'm gonna test that out, so we'll see. This is the guild master. So, we will get a little bit of a backstory. There is some story to this game. So, basically we're partners. And we're trying to run a shop. And we're going to the guild master to get on his good side. So we can buy stuff from him. So if you haven't noticed, Recettear, or whatever her name is, she's new to the whole capitalism thing, but Tear isn't so much. So we're going to look at the stock just a second. This is our first time stocking up. Our funds are limited, so do not go completely overboard. I recommend purchasing no more than 10 items. So when you go to somewhere like him, the guild, you can go through this and you can do different things. Just use your arrow keys again. Buy, sell, talk, leave. I'm going to... yeah, we'll talk. No, I don't want to. So, if X is to confirm, Z is to back out. So, E is to confirm, X is to back out. I'm sorry, these controls are just weird. I had to originally look up the controls for this. So basically what I'm going to do is down below in the sort of where the text normally goes, that's where you get a description of what the item is and how much. And I'm going to go ahead and purchase a long sword. I don't claim to be the best at this game. So if I make any mistakes, sorry. Oh yeah, and you can, using the arrow keys, you can go left or right. And he has more stuff then. Alright, so I'm done, so let's go ahead and get out of here. And you can skip these events by pressing the escape key. It's pretty useful further you go in the game. So if you haven't noticed, a lot of fantasy themes going through this, like guilds and fairies, and a lot of RPG elements. It's building up to something, so no worries. And I always thought this looked really nice. Walnut bread? That sounds so delicious. Oh, it makes me hungry. Man, how long have I been recording for? I don't know. We haven't even done anything yet. Oh, and that's like their sort of little catchphrase. I don't know who that person is, so whatever. Alright. Now we're back. She's going to give us a crash course using the item shop. First, we need to put some items on display. If we do not have our goods out for people to see, we can hardly expect the customers to buy them after all. Makes sense. So I just need to get near the counter. Once you know where you wish to place something, choose what you wish to place in that spot by pressing the primary button. Primary button? You'll understand when you try it. Just trust me. Now, where you place items, they're gonna affect different things. You'll see in a second. So, you know, think about it. Why not put... Okay, we're gonna line them up. So I'm gonna go ahead. You just go up to a space when it's highlighted, like this. And then you press Z. Then you choose. And you press Z again. May I speak with you a moment? Sure. Those counters by the window. Items you place there are visible to anyone passing by on the street. As such, putting eye-catching items, sort of thing that makes you think, I want to buy this more than anything, on those counters, is a core principle of running a shop like this. In a very real way, those counters are the face of the shop. And what is placed there greatly affects interest in our business. So choose what to place there very, very carefully. Wow, I never thought about it like that. She says okay. It's interesting because she's saying wakata. It's like a... I understand. And how they translated it was kind of... So I'm gonna go ahead and place the walnut bread there as well. And the worn sword right here. Alright. Eventually we'll get to a part where all of this will be filled. So no worries. And she's gonna teach us how to sell things. So this is our counter. Once we've displayed our items, and you see how these ones are sparkling, that means that people can see. And if you look through the window at some of the sprites going by, you can actually see them sort of side-eyeing it or looking in. We don't officially open until I go here. Sometimes she'll talk at us. The items are in place, and now you need to learn how to actually sell things to people without embarrassing yourself. I will lecture you on the actual process of selling. So there's some back and forth that goes on, you know. When a customer enters, be sure to greet them with a big welcome. Greeting the customer helps them to feel comfortable and relaxed while in the store. The comfort is fundamental to our business. Remember that as we go. So she talks a lot, actually. Like, a lot. So I'm sorry, like, this whole thing's probably going to be mostly tutorial. They'll come over to the counter to pay for it if they like it. So when this happens, this person's trying to buy the long sword. That's why it's called the target. You can see the base price. You'll also be able to see the name and base price. That's basically what I said. Pay attention to that base price because that's basically what we paid for it. Yeah. It's all about the button configuration and all that. So basically they haggle a price and we're all like, pay this, and they'll be like, I don't know about that. So depending on certain factors will depend on how much you can charge. You likely notice that the base price serves as your default. To raise your offer, press up. Like this. You go over and you can press up or down. And it tells you the percentage. You see that right below? That's how much. I like to go pretty high to begin with. Yeah, that's good. Alright. If a customer is satisfied with your offer, it's a sale, and you get a little bit of experience. So you do get experience points and stuff like that, very RPG-ish, along with money. If your price is too high, however, a customer can simply walk out, or they'll haggle with you. It really depends. Learning to determine the proper price, there lies the challenge. Now, if a customer disagrees with the price, but not so much they want to storm out, then you can negotiate, haggle. Basically what I said. Remember what I said about comfort earlier? That is the key here. Offer a price, but do not make it so outrageous that the customer feels you are not acting in good faith. So if they disagree but stay, offer a new price. Ideally, you will lower your offer a little, and they will take it and give you a sale. Some customers may just be trying to sniff out a better price. When they are really willing to pay your initial price, however, whether or not you risk testing that possibility is up to you. How long can you keep haggling? Well, that depends on how regular a customer the person in question is. So you do get regular customers. There are different types of customers, and different types of customers, which you can typically see by their sprite, will determine certain things like how much they like to haggle, how much they don't like to haggle, how much they can even afford, like if they get an allowance or if they have a job. It's pretty cool, I like it. As we are starting out, you will not be able to haggle for very long, but after customers begin to trust us a little, you can haggle for a longer period of time. I think that's a nice little feature that they put in here as well. I really like this game. It's a good time waster. Well, time to put theory into practice. Okay. So Tyr is pretending to be the customer. So we pick a price. There we go. At this level, you will likely end up haggling a little. Alright then, now for the fine art of haggling. Theoretically, what you wish to do is lower your price slowly, but as I mentioned, there is a limit to how long you can haggle. The idea is to deduce a customer's desired price and go from there. You say deduce the desired price. How do I... Just kind of like me, I'm a little ditzy sometimes, I swear. Okay, get back to it. A large number of stores sell at about 30% over base price. I think I sold way over. It is not a hard and fast rule, but people will usually accept that price level. Usually. If you can manage to go over that, you will make a lot of money, but you do not want to risk driving away a customer. Right then. So, as a customer, I am haggling. Could you make it a little bit cheaper? Okay, gotta make it cheaper, but not too cheap. So as you can see, it affects your percentage. You see that? There we go. We'll just go with a nice 30. This is technically cheaper, but still high. It would be up to the temperament of the customer as to whether or not you make a sale. Well, that covers just about everything. Now let us put the entire lecture into practice all at once. If you can sell me an item, You'll be ready for what lies ahead. Let's begin. Alright, let's go. She's basically like, oh, welcome! We don't actually have this item, it's just pretend, so... Alright, what should I do? I'm gonna raise that price. I'm gonna go ahead and raise it slightly. Well, that was more than I intended, but okay, let's do it. Go lower. Usually if you stay at 130%, it isn't too bad. I don't think I want to go lower, but okay. Just for practice, so whatever. I like to go by 5s and 10s. It's thin and nice that way. Woo! Sold a sword. So yeah. Sometimes if you start high like this, you might accept it if we go here. Sometimes they'll accept it if you start really outrageous. I don't really care. You're not an actual customer, so whatever. Oh my gosh, I don't want to do this anymore! Bye-bye! Yeah, but typically if you stay in the 130% or 125%, typically they're fine with it. I like the page sound every time the dialogue. We still have a little bit of time left today, so let's go ahead and open. If anyone comes in, simply handle them in the same way. So, yeah. I think I've gone on way too long, but we haven't actually gotten to any gameplay. So here's a customer. She likes to haggle. So she wants the walnut bread. I'm gonna go ahead and offer this much. Alright, we got it for 140%. And then that happens and the experience goes there. So our money went up. And our experience went up. And we can level up. It wasn't too bad as a first customer. When sometimes children come in and they don't have much money. As you notice, time has progressed. That happens every time you do an action, basically. I really like the drawings, the character designs. It reminds me a little bit of... What is it? What is that manga? Azumanga Daioh. I think that's how you pronounce it. What's her name? I only know her by her nickname, which is Osaka. She's from Osaka. So this is gonna get into some story. I'm going to go ahead and see what I can do to pause this, because... Okay, it's gonna go through the story. Yes. But that was basically the tutorial. It's a little interesting to get used to the controls, especially later in the game. Some things kind of change the controls around. Fairy and a human girl running an item shop. Yeah, I'm probably gonna pause this right here. So, next time we pick up, it'll be in the middle of this, I guess you call it a cutscene? Anyways, sorry, all out of time. Probably went way over. Yeah. So, as always, thank you from the bottom of my heart.